All right, everybody. Good morning. It is around 9 o'clock, 10 after 9, excuse me. We're going to do most of our lessons like this for the foreseeable future. If you go into Canvas every day to check the video, there should be one uploaded around this time every morning. So just be ready to go. To see the updates when they get made. Watch the video, have some line paper next to your computer or your phone, wherever you need to go to kind of listen to these, just that way you can take these notes. At any time this video can be paused to capture the notes so you can do some writing here. All right, so the question to think about for today, this is sort of like a bell ringer, even though we won't have this, and we won't see this question again, is if you're President Roosevelt the day after the U.S. declares war, December 9th, 1941, what are the three most important goals that must be met to prepare the country for war? So if you think about what's needed for a good army, a good military, you pause the video, take the time to write some of those goals at this point. All right. Moving forward here, first thing you have to do is to motivate the American people. FDR definitely used artists to get this done. Norman Rockwell was one of the more famous artists at that time that he used to, change Rockwell's, art to something that would be utilized to motivate Americans. So you look at the picture that's on the screen right now. Obviously, the idea of this picture is to see a young man in a uniform being attended to by really pretty USO women. The idea being that if you join the military, you get lots of pretty women not thrown at you, but women will be attracted to you as a man in uniform. All right. Worked back then, and as a result, you had 16 million people come forward through this point as a result. So motivating them is the first part. This is what we're going to pretty much talk about today. Other pieces of artwork, you might have seen some of these before that were used. Both of these, obviously freedom of speech, freedom of worship. So you can see like the whole war bond campaign at the bottom, that each soldier, American civilian would see this to motivate them to do the right thing when it comes to this war. Obviously, freedom of speech, to be able to stand up, talk your mind, speak your mind, to have people hear what you have to say, no matter who you are, was very important. Also, the freedom of worship. Obviously, America being predominantly Christian at this time period, they didn't want to have any of that changed because, look at the other countries we're facing in this war: Germany, Japan, Italy. Dictatorships. Freedom of speech is not allowed. Freedom of worship, probably not allowed. So you're looking at all these places that, you want to save these things, so join the war effort. And this is where these art posters came in to be a pretty big deal. Here's two more for you. Freedom from want, that you should never have to fight over what you want or what you need in society. Obviously, this home-cooked meal, dinner that people can resonate with was very important for those individuals. So, you fight for this. And then the one on the right, the freedom from fear, that you can tuck your kids in at night to not have to worry about them being afraid of what might happen to them at night, what's going to happen through their day. It's going to be very, very powerful for those kids and those families to want to, tuck their kids in at night and know nothing bad's going to happen to them. All right, very powerful images, even though they seem very simple. But Americans, saw this as an opportunity to sign up, do their part to make sure that, we can maintain these freedoms. All right, Norman Rockwell was very good here at this. Finally, to motivate people after Pearl Harbor, obviously the hate for the Japanese was very easy to gather, but at the same time, this becomes something that is, you need to motivate more soldiers than just the ones that hate Japan. You need to find ways to hate, the Nazis. Well, FDR and the government, acquired the help of one Walt Disney. You guys know Walt Disney from his, the brand of Disney and all the movies he made, the cartoons, the animation. Well, Disney was a keen animator at this time period, and he created a video. I will post that video right below this one for today's material on Canvas. So just watch this video as a link. It's like a 8 to 10 minute video to see how Americans would hate the Nazis, how pretty much Nazis are brainwashed, and how that's so not us. It's just comparing one culture to the next. And being able to compare those cultures was what made Americans fear the Nazis and why our hatred for them grew so much, especially after Pearl Harbor, when the Japanese were our main targets. As a result, people lined up row after row, to serve after Pearl Harbor. And in total, there were 16 million GIs. GI standing for government issue, meaning everything you're given is given by the government. So you're issued that stuff by the government. 16 million of those GIs signed up for the war and volunteered. Some of them were drafted as well, but a lot of them were volunteer soldiers who wanted to fight after Pearl Harbor. All right, so Americans had their hatred of the Japanese after Pearl Harbor and the hatred for the Nazis as well. All right, so every day you'll get a trivia question. Write the answer to this trivia question down. You may research, use any source that you want to online to find this answer. I just want to have you look at this answer so you can see exactly, that you can prove to me that you won here to get these answers every day. All right, so here is the trivia question. When the Japanese first attacked at Pearl Harbor, which phrase was sent back to the Japanese fleet to acknowledge the total surprise on the American Navy in the harbor? I need 3 words. 3 words, and I'll give you one hint. All 3 of those words are exactly the same. Give me the 3 words, and you're good to go. All right, just write this down, and that's your trivia question. All right, that's all for today's video. I'll post the other video for the Disney up on the page as well so you can watch. All right, have a great day, everybody.